we are back. So in the last video, we sewed the signatures to the template, and it is ready to be glued in to the cover, but I want to do a little more work on the cover first. You see, it was bothering me that the bee was covered up. Last summer, I got these grungy little brass stencils at a yard sale. I cleaned them up the best I could. And I started thinking, do I have a bee? Yeah, I have a bee. I had to cut it down a bit. And I sanded the best I could to take off the sharp edges. I glued a piece of fabric to the back because when I just put the stencil on, you could see part of the fabric and lace, and it just looked unappealing. So I am going to glue that gold bee down. How's it look? That's not bad. That's not bad. I've already popped holes through the cover. So, I mean, of course, this isn't necessarily something you would do with your journal. Hopefully you wouldn't make the mistake of covering up part of your title. I didn't really have a choice. I had to replace that spine, so. Okay, so I've got some little brads here. I'm going to put in a couple so I can make sure that I have this all in place. You're being weird. So clearly that's where I need to start, is with that one. But these legs aren't very long. That's not going to work at all. I was hoping I wouldn't have to use these big ones, but ooh, that's a fancy looking one. This one too has short legs, but maybe maybe not too short. Okay, let's see if I got any more like that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Turn you sideways. Better make sure I got 4 of them before I get carried away. Kind of got this old brass color. Nope. I also have these other ones that look like screws, but they're the wrong color. Ha. I think that's gonna work. Okay. We have 4. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay. I'm going to put the other 3 through. 3 through. Yeah. Done. All right, here's the next thing I've been thinking about. I don't want to add corners to my book, but it is looking extra shabby. So I was wondering about wrapping a piece of lace around like a corner. What do you think? I'm going to need 4 pieces. And I'm going to go iron and starch these. All right, let me show you how I've done it. So there's actually a V in here, so I matched that up with the edge of the book. And I used Stamperia Mixed Media Art Glue. And I'm going to use a little more to wrap around. So, of course, the most important part is the corner. So I want to make sure that that's up good. And then I want these 2 edges to touch. Because I will be covering it with paper. But it'll just look neater if this corner is nicely finished. Do you see that? Part of my precision problem. All right. I'll just do that a couple more times. trying to use it sparingly. Okay, so when I do add an inside page, like that, it'll look nice and neat there. Do you see what I mean? Maybe? One more. I'm just going to cut this piece of fabric that's acting all proud there. Okay. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to rinse out my brush. I'll be right back. Oops, one more thing. I want to cover up the legs of my brads. Okay, now we're going to set it aside. All right, the part you've been waiting for, how to glue the text block in. All right, so here we have the text block. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to place it right in there. Now, we have to make sure that the text block is equidistant at the foot here and at the head. Okay, some people like to add lace to the back of the template so that it hangs over the top. So if you want lace there, do it now or forever regret not. Okay. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to open that up. And see this ditch here? Just going to run a bead. Okay. Turn it around. There's that ditch again. All right. So, I am going to let this sit just like this. I'll prop it up with some stuff. And we'll come back in about an hour or two. So you noticed that the this template itself is not glued to the spine. It's just floating in there, okay? And the reason for that is it allows the book to open flat for easier use. That's how typically books are made, ones that have stitched in text blocks rather than glued in text blocks. So that's the reason for that. All right, I'm going to prop this up and come back in a couple hours and finish the next step. Okay, that's ready to go. So I'm just gonna open this up. And add some glue. And then smoosh that down. Turn her around. Stuff falling on me. A little bubble there. Okay. So next, what I want to do is the inside cover. So the page that will be mounted here. Okay. So I've already measured that. And I've cut a piece of folder. And I've cut a piece of fabric. This is matching. This would match the spine and the inside spine. What we just stitched signatures to. Okay. So I'm just using glue stick. Ugh, I love this fabric. Beautiful. Okay. bring this up close so you can see. So I'm not cutting straight across. I'm kind of leaving, you know, an 1/8 of an inch or so, then giving it a little turn. So I don't want the fabric overlapping in the corner and creating bulk. You'll see I kind of pushed this a little further than 90 degrees where the extra little fabric is. Just to make sure it doesn't overhang. All right. Now, that's that job done. In just about every journal I make now, I always add a little doily to the front and back cover as a pocket. That's good. Oh my goodness, couldn't find the hole. Now, I'm going to sew a narrow hem. What would you call it? I'm going to stitch around the edge, perimeter. I've already done the back. So let's carry on and do the back. I'm using Fabri-Tac to glue this down. I'm thinking That's not entirely necessary. You could use the mixed media glue that I used the other day with the lace on the corners. Well, it was the other day, but for you it's earlier in this video, I think. So I want to center this, leave a little margin around the edges. Sometimes I'll put little clips on if I'm worried that it's not going to hold. Like here. Yeah, you're gonna be all right. Okay. I will pause to stitch this. Be right back. All right, we're back. The front inside cover is installed. The next step will be going through the book, looking for places that need a little more decoration, filling pockets, that sort of thing. Putting in, you know, tags and journaling cards. So that is the process of making a junk journal from a vintage book from start to finish. The next time you see this book will be in a flip through. I hope you enjoyed this series. I have it in a playlist so that the videos are all together and can be easily found. And let me know if you have any questions. Send me some pictures of your process, and if you used this series to help you to create a book. I want to know. I want to see it. All right, you take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.